But on the other end, I've also experienced Biden and the open borders policy and the amounts of horrible shit that I saw on that border, and people being a bunch of kids that went missing, or kids that were like, what's going on with all these kids and why do they have armbands, and all these migrant
human
camps.
trafficking.
Yeah. All these migrant camps being set up on the border, and
Which generally, like, good people don't want to believe that human trafficking is a real business. And
it is
that
the best.
child trafficking is a real business.
It is a real business, and it is a big business, and most of anything related to sex trafficking, specifically related to children, what part of the world do you think is the largest market for it?
Is the United States? They're always catching people too. They catch people and you're like, how many have they not caught?
Yeah.
You know, whenever they catch some new guy that's in trouble.
The phenomenon that's going on that I don't see a lot of people talk about is that the fact that, you know, a lot of Americans who are into this move to Mexico, and in Mexico it's harder to find some of these people. So a lot of it, in some of these expat community places, there are people hiding out who are pedophiles, and they don't no longer have to figure out stuff in the U.S., so they're moving down there and they're doing some of that down there. Trafficking of children, the sales of children, child theft, kidnappings are common in Mexico. They're very common in Mexico. And it's not something that you hear a lot about, but masses of people and children being moved up into the border have had some sort of organized effort with them to like help that out. You know, if you're a cartel member and you're on the border and all of a sudden you see 14 kids that are all asleep, you're like, why are all these kids like asleep? Like, oh, they're tired from the trip. I mean, I have a kid, you know, she's like, I stop at a Starbucks and she wakes up like, what are you getting?
Right.
All these kids are like asleep. They're drugged. So they carry them drugged up into the all the way up to the border. This is Biden era. So they would drug all these kids to not make them interact with anybody that might ask them any questions. Basically, they put an armband on them, and they had some sort of organized effort on the U.S. side to receive them and put them wherever they need to be. All of that was shady. All of that was really shady. I don't know.
That's so horrific.
I don't know what happens on this side. I don't know what happens on this side. I know that as an immigrant myself, I know that this administration, and specifically in this part of its in this history and what's happening right now, is there's a lot of stress and fear. You know, I see the effects of it in different industries, from agricultural to culture to just this general anxiety that is felt across the country by people of my color skin that look Mexican or are Mexican. You know, but I also am not blind to or not stupid enough to see and compare it to the past administration and some of the shit that went on there.
That's the problem, is that it's an overcorrection. The problem is when you have an open border and you do know that cartel members are just freely going across, and you do have human trafficking and you want to stop it, then you want to get everybody out that came in during the last 4 years. So now you have 20 million people you have to account for.
Yeah.
And the problem is some of them are good people. Some of them are not gang members. Most of them are just people that wanted a better life. Most of them. But they have mandates now, and mandates get creepy because then people become numbers. And if you say, we got to get rid of X amount every day,
Yeah.
and then you just show up at Home Depot and you get some hardworking guy with a family who just wants to like do some roofing jobs.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude selling flowers.
Yeah.
Lady selling fruit in cups.
And then there's this pushback on amnesty. People have this crazy pushback. Like, if someone's been here for 20 years, they've been working on a farm, and they're good people, and they've established a family here, let's figure out a pathway to amnesty. And then there's the hard right pushback. They're like, fuck you. You got here illegally. Get the fuck out. It's like, those are jobs Americans could do. It's like,
I mean,
okay. Well, first of all, my take on that is, if you're using illegal labor, at the bottom line, What you're doing is not paying people what they should be paid.
Illegal immigration is illegal because people want it to remain so
Right.
because they need that cheap labor. That's another addiction.
Someone explained that to me, that he was having a conversation with this extremely wealthy guy who was upset at the crackdown on the border because they need illegal workers. It's a part of their business model because you don't have to pay them any benefits. You don't have to pay them whatever
They're off the books.
Yeah, exactly. And they can't complain.
If they do,
Yeah, which is, that's not good. Like, you shouldn't have that. So they should find out, first of all, forget about whether or not someone's illegal or not. Like, what are you paying them?
Yeah.
You should have like a detailed record of how much everybody who works for you gets paid. And if there's a bunch of people that are working for you that aren't on record, what's going on?